Othering. It is a term largely from the social sciences that means something to the effect of casting out. The other is the one who does not belong to the group. To be othered is to have been put out of the group. It's not uncommon. It's something that's very common. It's something that happens all the time. But what if you look up one day and realize that the person that you have othered, well, it's you? Welcome to Strip Coverlet, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Ford, and we are here for another poetry discussion that will appear in 3 different playlists here on the channel. Number 1 being the poetry discussion playlist, now approaching 800 videos strong. Number 2 being the Robert Frost playlist, a playlist of videos dedicated to the cranky old man himself. And number 3 is the Dark Academia playlist, a playlist of videos that circles around the themes of dark academia. The poem in question today is The Fear by Robert Frost, and it reads as such. A lantern light from deeper in the barn shone on a man and woman in the door, and threw their lurching shadows on a house nearby, all dark in every glossy window. A horse's hoof pawed once the hollow floor, and the back of the gig they stood beside moved a little. The man grasped a wheel. The woman spoke out sharply. Whoa, stand still. I saw it just as plain as a white plate, she said. As the light on the dashboard ran along the bushes at the roadside, a man's face. You must have seen it too. I didn't see it. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. It was a face? Joel, I'll have to look. I can't go in, I can't. And leave a thing like that unsettled? Doors locked and curtains drawn will make no difference. I always have felt strange when we came home to the dark house after so long an absence, and the key rattled loudly into place, seemed to warn someone to be getting out, at one door as we entered, at another. What if I'm right? And someone all the time. Don't hold my arm. I say it's someone passing. You speak as if this were a traveled road. You forget where we are. What is beyond that he'd be going to or coming from at such an hour of night, and on foot, too? What was he standing still for in the bushes? It's not so very late, it's only dark. There's more in it than you're inclined to say. Did he look like... He looked like anyone. I'll never rest tonight unless I know. Give me the lantern. You don't want the lantern. She pushed past him and got it for herself. You're not to come, she said. This is my business. If the time's come for me to face it, I'm the one to put it the right way. He'd never dare. Listen. He kicked a stone. Hear that? Hear that? He's coming toward us. Joel, go in, please. Hark. I don't hear him now, but please go in. In the first place, you can't make me believe it is, or someone else he sent to watch. And now and now's the time to have it out with him, while we know definitely where he is. Let him get off, and he'll be everywhere around us, looking out of the trees and bushes, till I shan't dare to set a foot outdoors. And I can't stand it, Joel. Let me go. But it's nonsense to think he'd care enough. You mean you couldn't understand his caring? Oh, but you see what he... This is rough. Oh, but you see he hadn't had enough. Joel, I won't, I promise you. We mustn't say hard things. You mustn't either. I'll be the one if anybody goes. But you give him the advantage with this light. What couldn't he do to us standing here? And if to see was what he wanted, why has he seen all there was to see and gone? He appeared to forget to keep his hold. but advanced with her as she crossed the grass. "What do you want?" she cried into the dark. She stretched up tall to overlook the light that hung in both hands, hot against her skirt. "There's no one, so you're wrong," he said. "There is. What do you want?" she cried, and then herself was startled when an answer really came. Nothing. It came from well along the road. She reached a hand to Joel for support. The smell of scorching woolen made her faint. "What are you doing round this house at night?" "Nothing." A pause. There seemed more to say. And then the voice again. "You seem afraid. I saw, by the way you whipped up the horse. I'll just come forward in the lantern light and let you see." "Yes, do. Joel, go back." She stood her ground against the noisy steps that came on, but her body rocked a little. "You see?" the voice said. "Oh." She looked and looked. "You don't see? I've a child here by the hand." "What's a child doing at this time of night?" "Out walking. Every child should have the memory of at least one long after bedtime walk." "What, son?" "Then I should think you'd try to find somewhere to walk. The highway as it happens. We're stopping for the fortnight down at Dean's." "But if that's all, Joel, you realize you won't think anything. You understand? You understand that we have to be careful. This is a very, very lonely place, Joel." She spoke as if she couldn't turn. The swinging lantern lengthened to the ground. It touched. It struck it, clattered, and went out. So, what is going on in this narrative poem? We have a man and a woman returning home. They appear to be married, husband and wife, returning home after some extended stay someplace else. The woman, who I don't think we have a name for, I think the only name we have is Joel. The woman says that she sees someone walking past. She's paranoid at it, and we realize that she is paranoid at it because it's inferred that she has an ex that it might be, or it might be someone that her ex has sent. Okay, great. So she is adamant that if anybody's going to take this, it's me, right? If anybody's going to be in the danger, it's me. It's my ex. It's not you, Joel. You didn't date the guy. So she insists on being the one who goes out into the darkness. He says, "You don't have to." He says, "Don't do it." She does it anyway. Turns out there really is someone out there. But it's just someone walking their child to Dean's. I'm assuming an inn of some sort. And the person is just passing along. So, what is the point of this? Well, here's what I think from a dark academic perspective. First of all, when we get the confrontation with the stranger, right? The stranger, that's a very large theme in literature. The other, the stranger, the one without. We are told, I think that's a man. But when we meet the stranger, we do not get a gender. Well, but how could it be that she mistook a woman for a man? She mistook a passerby for being alone when that passerby had a whole child with them. Perhaps gender was confused as well. The stranger in literature always tells us something about the self. In this poem, that self would be the woman. And no, I don't think it's just her paranoia. I think what this is telling us that the speaker here is afraid of the self, is afraid of nothing, will put fear into anything. That's the fear. That's where we get the title of the poem. Well, why is there a child there? We could read any number of things into that. Perhaps her ex was childlike. Perhaps this is just a sign, a signifier of innocence. Any number of things. You could read something so Freudian into it as the fact that there is a boy child with the passing stranger. It represents her inner child, but she is female, although she's very assertive, right? Perhaps she has, I can't remember what Freud called it, but the idea that females are jealous of the male member. They are jealous of the fact that because they don't have a member, right? So perhaps her inner child is masculine in some way. Certainly, there's a queer theory interpretation to be had here, but I think, from a dark academic perspective, the more intriguing thing to talk about than that is this confrontation with the stranger gives us a little bit of information about the woman. We are told time and again, I think there's someone out there. And Joel says, don't be silly. It's just someone walking past. And she responds, you say it like people walk past here. You know where we are. We're in the middle of nowhere. A very large theme in dark academia is the theme of the other. The dark academic is someone who has gone into a personal exile, someone who has adopted the othering upon themselves. That's not easy. That doesn't come without price. The woman here has adopted this othering. Her and her husband have moved to this place in the middle of nowhere. And when you're in the middle of nowhere, boy, do you get to populate it. What do I mean by that? Well, when you're in the middle of nowhere, everything that's in your head is going to be out there in the bushes. Why? Well, because maybe there's nothing in the bushes. But everything rolling around in your mind gets to be present because nothing else is. And every bump that you hear is whatever you're afraid of. And every flash that you see in the corner of your eye, well, that's someone coming for you, if that's what you're afraid of. Or maybe what your fear is abandonment. So, as opposed to being afraid of some stranger coming around, you get paranoid thoughts that while I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, it's been a week since I've seen civilization, maybe civilization has ended. I used to get those thoughts as a kid. In the middle of night, be awake because I was always a weird kid, and be absolutely sure the rest of the world had ended. Or on a long drive in the back seat, looking out at the dark world passing by. All of it was very still, almost too still. So I think that this othering from the protagonist here, I think we could get away with calling her the protagonist of this poem. The othering from this protagonist is self-adopted, moved out into the middle of nowhere with her husband. But she has this paranoia about her. And so she manifests it into her world. We have every inclination, every indication. This is not the first time that she has seen something in the bushes. Is it incumbent upon the dark academic to realize these fears about themselves? Is that what allows a dark academic? So there's, in my opinion, there's two pathways for the dark academic. One, you retreat into isolation. You build up the self into something that it was not before, and then you emerge. like a moth from that cocoon. Now you're a moth. We won't say butterfly. Or there's the mad scientist route. You go down the route of dark academic, and you never come back. You miss all the off-ramps. And baby, you just keep on driving. Is it one of the signs of the mad scientist route that you do not deal with these fears? That you do not confront the shadow itself? I think probably. And I think that is where the off-ramps get missed. That is all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting a like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, literature is the only thing I talk about on this channel. There are 2 playlists and a video on the screen right now that YouTube says you'll love, and I would appreciate you othering yourself down into those rabbit holes. And as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.